Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being with us on this fine Tuesday evening. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo, and this is Thank God It's Tuesday. He's Tim Strachan.
Oh man, it's been a great week, and we get to really have our own little celebration here tonight. Looking forward to it. It's been awesome. Let's keep it rolling, man.
He is not Kevin Ricca. He's Rhett Donnelly.
First of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Second of all, I'm here to party.
Merry Christmas.
There
It
you
is
go.
Christmas in July, July 25th. I want to know from people on the board, does anyone celebrate Christmas in July? Anyways, it is a thing. When I was a kid, we actually had some stuff going on for Christmas in July. There were presents. There were Christmas
What?
movies watched. Oh yes, Marangolo.
I couldn't do it. I can't listen to Christmas music. Can't watch Christmas movie.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it was
No.
fun. I mean, you got presents. There were presents.
But that's ridiculous.
It's a fest. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but I want to see if anyone else on the board tonight. NES Tecmo. Good evening.
You're probably one of those
Yo,
guys that got
Greg.
to open up a present on Christmas Eve night too, right? At least one.
It gets to.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, we had those four siblings. We exchanged gifts amongst the four of us. We opened that gift on Christmas Eve, but Santa didn't
Just
come.
couldn't wait. Could
Santa
you?
didn't
So you
bring
had to
those
have it in
gifts.
July. You got to have the night before.
That wasn't
Can't just
Santa
wait
Claus.
till that one day.
That was Meat Claus.
Who brought presents?
I mean, you might as well
Santa
just get
Claus.
a present
in
every
July
day.
for the Christmas in July.
Oh, and Christmas in July. There was a celebration of Christmas in July where presents were given by people. I mean, dude, Santa's on vacation. You know it. He's drinking all the drinks we talked about 3 weeks ago on an island somewhere with Biggie, obviously, and Tupac. Just absolutely chilling.
Let the board weigh in. Who believes there should be a Christmas in July?
Well, that there should be. There is one. Not everyone does it. But
Seriously.
it is. You know, can you be bah humbug more than like 365 days here? We finally solved the riddle. We're the farthest away from actual Christmas.
I know Christmas,
And you're
I don't-
equally
I
as
don't-
Scrooge-ish.
You haven't
You haven't
Christmas has
lost
been
it.
ruined for me. It's been ruined.
Oh my
I had such
gosh.
a magical Christmas experience as a child, and now it just sucks.
All right. Well, listen, we're bringing it back today on July 25th. It's Christmas in July here in the basement and all over Redskins Nation, Football Team Nation, Commanders Nation. Leave some space. There's going to be a new name in a year. So, which we're just totally ready for, obviously.
I'm gonna hate it.
No, I'm going to love it. I'm ready to love it. I'm ready to absolutely love it. It's not.
I want pig skins so that we can just call them skins. That's what I want.
Okay. Everyone
Sure.
should.
No
Everyone
one's
should.
talking about
Everyone should have what they like. Know what they want. Say what they want. But ultimately, no. I wasn't ever going to invest my emotion into something created by that man, and knowing full well that I believe that the next guy was going to change it. The next guy's going to change it. The new owner, Josh Harris, is going to change it. By the way, welcome to Josh Harris. You can say it for the
Woohoo!
first time on the show.
I was listening on 106.7
Mm-hmm.
at the moment that Josh Harris called into the Grant and Danny show and bought everybody at the bar they were at and at the bullpen
Mm-hmm.
a beer. And actually, they followed up with a report of how his team actually called each establishment, figured out a number, and the tip. He took care of the tip as well.
I mean, if you have
He
$6
did
billion,
more- He did more for the fan base in an hour of being the owner than Dan Snyder did.
and
in
how
24
difficult
years.
was that?
exactly.
Just saying, there's a party going on.
He said
Let
he
me
had
buy
to
everybody
maybe.
a
He
beer.
said
It's
he
the
maybe had
easiest
to
thing in
ta-
the world to do.
He may have had to tap into a savings account, but he said it was worth it.
It cost him like what he's actually probably makes in an hour. That rate, that dollar rate, was probably more for him to think of the idea and execute it than it was for any the both tabs combined. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's couch change for him, and it's a fun move.
It gets to be his.
Everything's fun now. Everything
Just
feels
not
better.
red anything. I'm with you on that. Shouldn't be red anything because we don't have red in our uniforms.
I agree, we're
And
not red.
We got rid of the whole name to begin with because of
Yeah, because of the color.
the letters RED.
I'm down. We've been making that argument. I don't think it's going to be red something. I honestly don't. But then again, I'm going to be all open. Let's start at the beginning of this whole thing. Mary Jo White.
First, there were
Mary Jo White.
dinosaurs.
The first there were dinosaurs, and there was Mary Jo White. And we'll drink to her.
I'm going to run out of my one drink I said I was going to have.
Don't worry, we have more. And
Told you I wasn't drinking.
That report came out. He got fined $60 million. Blah 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 blah. Who cares? We usher out the old and we usher in the new. So I guess my initial feelings are first and foremost the air is cleaner, the whiskey tastes better, the hot dogs taste better. Everything is it's just better. But I'm not. I want to be leading the charge of this. The expectations we have for the football team don't change. The expectations we have for FedEx Field being a dump don't change. Let's not hang some things on Josh Harris on his first day. Let him get into the job, and let's be prepared to hold him accountable in ways that we did not hold Dan Snyder accountable in his first 5 or 6 years, because we were all just like, woohoo, Deion Sanders.
How did you hold him accountable that we didn't do?
I think because when Dan Snyder first came in, he was a local guy who bought the team and wanted to make us great again. That's exactly what Dan Snyder and Josh Harris. That's Josh Harris now too. I'm ready to be and willing to accept and believe that Josh Harris is going to be a way better owner than Dan Snyder. I'm all for it. He gets a long leash.
He's an adult.
Hold on.
Snyder wasn't even.
But hold on. I'm just saying I'm ready to give him all the slack in the world. But I also want to make sure that we all are kind of focused on the execution. And at the end of the day, I think this is a perfect opportunity to lessen the owner talk segments of shows like this and increase the on the field stuff. And I think that's what Josh Harris gives us.
Look,
Josh Harris gives us a whole space to be like, you know what? We're gonna let the owner do his thing, and we get to watch football.
This is why it's great. Because the clown show is out of here. It's a layup for Harris at this point. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be grinding work, but it should be a layup.
Yeah.
As far as the football
buying
product,
an absolute low.
As far as the football product, there should not be any lowered expectations. It should be what they are or better, and that's absolutely achievable. And then the layup is to change the culture and how this organization's run, which we finally have an adult in charge. Dan Snyder took this over at 34. Could you all imagine being an owner of an NFL franchise at 34?
Well, he was a bad guy. He wasn't just young and stupid. He was also a terrible guy.
Idiot and a bad person. Yeah. Even when you're not all that crap. So that's why this is great, because it can only get better from here. There's absolutely no way. And hopefully we don't eat these words.
Well,
I don't eat these words. It can never get worse.
It's the greatest time to buy business. If you're ever going to buy business in any industry whatsoever, much less the most recession foolproof business in the world, which is NFL. But if you're ever going to buy something, you can only be so lucky to get something that's literally rock bottom.
Buy a shitty one that everybody wants.
This is not even close to being. This is like
no-brainer.
You can tear this one down. You got it. I'm done with Jason Wright. I know he's here for a little bit longer. I hope we I hope we send him on his way ASAP.
Well, maybe they just find another spot for him because he was a good soldier and did what he was asked to do.
No, he was a soldier for the enemy, and those people. The Geneva Convention rules will live by all of them, but he has to go. He doesn't get to wear.
It kind of wasn't
the
his
New Jersey.
fault to be.
No, it was. There. He was in charge. He was the president.
Yeah.
Now, he was the president.
I know.
He gets. I listen. I'm not saying he's not redeemable, that he shouldn't get another opportunity. He just can't be here. What he was in front of here it's over. It's completely over. He is. It's too far. He went too far with Dan Snyder.
I really don't care.
I care a lot. These are the people who need to go. If we're starting fresh, we got to start with freshness, and he ain't fresh.
Yeah, and then the one thing I'll say with the next, so these 2 months are going to be awesome, right? Celebration started last week. We're going to get this until we finally play some football, so we get that to be excited about. But the on-field product, it might take some time. It will take some time, okay? It is so easy for him to just correct the small things that were left unattended when Snyder was running things. You know, the unveiling of the Sean Taylor statue.
Well, the easy stuff.
Right, that's the grind.
Stuff.
That's the hard work. I mean, there's going to be stuff he has to do, but
he's not even responsible for that. He needs to bring another guy to take Jason Wright's job,
but he's got
to do it the right way, because Jason Wright did it the wrong way.
That's right.
Jason Wright destroyed the Sean Taylor situation multiple times. But I'm with you on this.
I'm just saying the game day experience those things, the ticket prices, the parking, all that stuff, that hopefully gets figured out and
Yes.
made right.
And not until we get a new stadium. FedEx is a
They
dump.
could do some things.
They're going to. They're going to put some money into it, and it sucks that he has to do it, but he has to do it.
Yeah.
You can't let sewage drop on people. You can't have railings fail. You can't have like half the bathrooms unusable.
These are shitty
expired
seats.
hot dogs. I mean, all of it has to be addressed by people who are tasked with doing it. And so his job, he's not going to unplug all the toilets on the mezzanine. Like, I don't think he is. And he's not ordering the hot dogs, and he's
pouring milk in other people's
milk in other people, or delivering half melted half gallons of vanilla ice cream to our defensive coordinator,
or committing crimes for that matter,
committing international crimes because he is a pirate now,
federal. Yeah.
I like the Josh Harris thing because like I like the fact that I started covering the Redskins like professionally for money, like for an organization during the Dan Snyder years is gut wrenching because I was alive during way better years. Would have loved to have been in those locker rooms. I mean, being in the 80s, early 90s even.
There were better locker rooms back then too.
Everything was better.
Yeah, everything was better. Sort of in some ways.
But, I think I went blue in the face. I had like my one line when I would go on with the Junkies or I'd go on with like, B Mitch or whatever, or Doc. And I'd say, dude, if there's dysfunction between Monday and Saturday, there's going to be dysfunction on Sunday. And our whole organization has been dysfunction, and our game, our inside the whistles product has been completely poisoned by the dysfunction between Monday and Saturday. So that's Josh Harris's first job. Like, get your shit straight Monday through Saturday, because we can't be competent on Sunday if we're incompetent the other 6 days of the week all year round. So, and I think that Josh Harris can accomplish that. And I look forward to, with training camp starting tomorrow, being able to stop talking about Dan Snyder and how much it sucks to root for a team owned by him, and how terrible it is to have it constantly rubbed in my face that like the freaking worst person ever owns my team. And so with that put aside, I'm not going to replace that oxygen. I'm not going to replace those segments, T, with Josh Harris segments. I'm going to replace that time with,
hopefully,
with the fourth, with the depth chart, with the schedule, with X's and O's. Like that's going to be so much fun.
Can we make a commitment to just not talk about Dan Snyder ever again after tonight?
I've already.
We can do that.
Get a jar together. You put $1 in the jar every time you mention his name.
We should call. He has to have a name, and it's got to be a pirate name that he's referred to. I think Kevin had a couple ideas. Board. He has to have a pirate name. If he is ever referred to, he shall be called his pirate name, because he's going to be in international waters on a mega yacht for most of his life.
Would that be counting as talking about him?
If we have to refer to him, I don't want it to be like the former guy or whatever, however people try to diss, I want to call him something. And I think it should be something to do with his little legs, that don't quite hit the floor when he's sitting in his pirate captain's chair.
It's not going to be Mr. Snyder.
No, it will not be Mr. Snyder. So, but I also, the same level of commitment, I want to make to talking less about owners. Like, it sucks. It's not fun. And we had to talk about it. We had to.
The successful franchises don't.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Because their owner, like Steve Bisciotti, does his thing between Monday and Saturday, and then just quietly sits there and lets everybody else do what needs to be done. That's the way it's done.
It is all those years done. The best teams in the league.
Look at Dallas.
We want to graduate.
Why does anybody want to be Jerry Jones, other than the fact he makes a shitload of money?
He's too much of a story for that team to be great.
Horribly, and it has been horrible since he's taken over and started making decisions.
I think we have to come up with that.
That is such a terrible thing to emulate.
Time you talk about owners, time that owners' story and versus success in the league. I think there's a direct correlation. If the owner's the story,
Pittsburgh,
then you're not a good team.
Baltimore,
New England for so many years.
Unbelievably,
Kansas City.
Forget
about it. I mean, even Philadelphia. We don't
had people
talk about the Lurries that much. I mean, who cares? But we know who they are, because guess what? They freaking hoist Lombardi trophies on national TV, international TV, on an annual basis. All right, so I like. So we have AGH proposed the sailing turd. I mean, it's a contender. I like Old Stumpy from Robert Cohen. I like it. Let's keep on with the suggestions. We want pirate names for our former owner, and as a added addition, please subscribe to First Amendment Sports and give us a like if you see, hear, or I don't even however else you consume our show, whether it's not just seeing and hearing.
Turd name, turd
in the name, like Turd Ferguson. Any name with turd, we can't besmirch the great name of Turd Ferguson. So it can't be. Turd can be used, but it's like Turd Beard. I don't know. It's a pirate name. We'll come up with it. So, on the heels of our Mary Jo White toast and the out with the old, in with the new owner situation, and the fact that we're getting a new team name within a year, by the time we hit the field next September, we will have a new name. Is that definitive enough?
Next September.
Is that breaking the story? 2024.
It's not breaking a story because I've heard the same.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
The fact that
I don't think it can be done. It can't be done sooner than that.
It can't be done sooner than that. But that's all. Just be sure about. Just move past it. The fact that we're getting a new stadium deal, likely at RFK, likely on the site of RFK. I think that's going to happen. So
can we just not make it a big production this time?
I'm just saying it's a pretty damn good Christmas in July.
Again, that was turd nerd.
Turd nerd?
I don't know.
Turd beard?
I'm going to start throwing out shit.
Turd beard. Interim name is Turd beard, but I think we can do better than Turd beard or beard turd. Either way. By the way, Robert Cohen, EO, Ken Harris, Greg Martin, manner of speaking. Good to see you guys tonight.
Snyder was trying to just always shop around, and
you said his name.
Turd leg.
Turd beard
was always just shopping around and making and kicking up dust is what he was doing.
He couldn't kick any dust.
Harris
his legs
is a
just dangle above
He's going to
the
get
seat.
things done.
Yeah, he's going to get
That's
things
what
done.
he's supposed to be, right? I mean,
so first of all, you said his name. Second, and you didn't drink yet. That's got to be a thing. And
we started already. I said after tonight.
No, no. When we commit, we commit. We start immediately. It's like every diet we've ever done. We started immediately. I started my whiskey diet right.
Captain Turd night. Burglar.
Well, Turd. I don't want to. I feel like we're besmirching the hamburger.
Does he have to be a captain? Can't we call him like first mate?
No. Yeah, he can be private.
Private.
Something deck swabber. Turd swabber. I don't know. It's got to have turd in it. I feel like turd has to be in it. But we're gonna get there. We're just gonna get there, everybody. Please,
private turd swaggler.
I do like turd swaggler, but I
kind of a pirate-ish name.
Yeah, but pirates don't have like ranks like that. You just have the guy who's on the bottom and the guy who's on top. You get your top and your bottom.
Turd swaggler.
His bottom bitch. He's a turd swaggler. Turd swaggler.
It's all coming full circle.
It is. Yeah, with Shmee, the Shmee reference is getting there. NES Tecmo is coming through. All right, we're gonna get this, guys. We're gonna get this. All our best guys are on it. I know Kevin. He's off site tonight and he's working on pirate nicknames. We're gonna get a list of 30 from him, and we will decide who it's gonna be. But I'm just saying. All those things, owner, name, Mary Jo White report, stadium, newness, freshness, tastiness, everything's great. And training camp starts tomorrow. I'm just saying, it's kind of a damn good Christmas in July. It's like with so much. Don't want to say we have so much to be thankful for because people get confused because it's not Thanksgiving in July. I'm saying these are all gifts. We're opening some presents. What's up, J-Dubs? Brown Eye Danny. All right, we're getting closer. So training camp starts tomorrow. So this is the time of year where we gird our loins against the terrible headlines that every NFL fan is like desperate not to read. That already team fan bases out there have already had to read.
He doesn't speak for all of us, but
there's no more set of loins girded than this man right here. He's capital G gird. The injuries. Who have we lost so far?
That gird the muscles that you need to gird of mine aren't working.
You have to come up with a system. You're a girder. The injuries are the most least fun aspect of August in the NFL. So tomorrow we become on full alert.
It's part of the game, but I'm entering this season thinking
I hate
things
it, though.
have to even out for us somehow.
You're hoping for a favorable roll of the dice.
I'm not hoping. At some point,
I'm hoping
nobody has that bad of luck. Things even out. We haven't had any good luck, is what I'm saying. There hadn't been any breaks. Maybe we're going to get breaks now. It all evens out.
It all does. Everything over a long enough term.
But
mortality rate goes to 0 at some point for everyone. But the biggest one is Sam Howell. Obviously I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want to lose defensive tackles. I don't want to lose cornerbacks. I don't want to lose anybody. But like key to not just our season this year, but like the potential direction of our entire franchise hinges on whether or not Sam Howell is somebody who can play ball for us at quarterback, and he needs to be healthy to do that. So that's the big one.
Have either of you watched quarterback?
I've watched. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Yes.
First of all,
no spoiler alerts.
No. First of all, it's
fantastic.
But you get, at least with Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins, who I gained a lot of respect for him after watching that series. He's still kind of a douchey guy, and I wouldn't want to hang out with him.
He's a weirdo.
But I have so much, even more respect having an inside look at what the day of life and the week of an NFL quarterback. If Hal can figure out how to do that, he has the physical abilities to do it. That's what separates, good from bad.
But that was never a knock on Hal.
No. Yeah. But I mean,
no one ever suggested
having
that
seen
he
that though,
have that in him.
I'm excited for it. I'm very optimistic and very excited to see what Hal can do, because I think it's doable. Not only is it doable, I think it's very doable for him to establish himself as a
starting quarterback
for this team.
Yes, without a doubt,
for an indefinite future. For now,
the glorious aspect of him. So he's going to get the chance, right? So I did there's a network called Prime Sports that run out of North Carolina, and I'm the Redskins Washington football team, Washington Commanders correspondent. So I did like an hour and a half with them today on the depth chart, but they're also like the national perspective of the team perception. 6.5 wins remains the over-under for our team. Like, as much as we think that Sam Howell can be the guy, as much as we love, Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson, as much as we think our defense is like absolutely stacked, which it is, all these things are kind of true. Like, we have talent, we have youth, we have speed, and nobody outside of Washington is buying it at all, which I love. But that's a true thing. It is a.
They shouldn't.
I understand. I completely understand.
Gamblers shouldn't.
They haven't for quite some time.
The non-Washington football team fan base shouldn't. But who's ever had a turnaround in the year of what?
Well, I mean, we won the division 2 years ago.
Not just transition.
Yeah, we won the division 2 years ago.
I know, but I'm just saying.
And again, 4 years
fans,
before that,
we absolutely should be,
without a doubt.
And get all your negativity out. But there is no this team usually. You can't say that anymore. You can't say this team historically. But no, can't say it. Everything from right now is forward.
Without a doubt.
Cannot say, oh, we have always done this or we've always done that. No, that doesn't work anymore. Always is gone. The always is gone. It's all new.
I like, so I got a good sense of that
Yeah, so what is the national perspective from
the national perception is I tell you what it is. It's the people are like, wait, they're going to start Sam Howell? Like, Sam Howell is their starter. Like, they're going into the season with Sam Howell is there. That's I guarantee you, outside of Washington and outside of like even our region, like the NFL fan is saying like, wait a second, like
that's awesome.
That's who's their quarterback.
That's awesome.
I know,
because we can say, fuck yeah, they are.
Yeah, of course.
and as we say it now,
yeah,
we can say it even more proud and with more confidence hopefully as the season goes on.
He's going to get the reps. He's going to be our guy. He's going to, be the person who gets the benefit of this particular opportunity. Everything hinges. I mean, everything. So many good things hinge on him being able to be our quarterback because of how much he'll cost for the next 3 years, and the decisions that we're going to have to make with money that we're going to have plenty of. But like for example, this is one thing I said on the show. For example, if Sam Howell is our starter for the next 3 years or 3+ years, then we are completely able to sign both Chase Young and Montez Sweat if they have great years this year. And that's a fact. That is an absolute fact. There's no reason why we can't have both if Sam Howell is our starter going forward. If Sam Howell is not our starter going forward, we're either going back to the draft and we still have the money to spare, or we're looking to bring in, a veteran, and the math is different. But if Sam Howell performs, we can have super nice things at other parts of the field. And
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but you're hitting it. I think the reason why we all should be optimistic and get rid of this. This is who we used to be. It's never going to happen, or I'm not going to believe it until I see it. The money. We are this organization is set up for someone like Harris to come in with the right people that he chooses to steer this thing and do something actually maybe pretty spectacular in short order.
Anything that happens on the field that's great, Josh Harris is going to enjoy the benefit of loads and loads of credit, whether he had anything to do with it or not, just by virtue of switching the switch from old Turdy McStumpy, Barnacle Dan, as Ken Harris is just saying.
Can't use the DAN.
Oh, you're right. We can't say
Barnacle turds.
Yeah, turticle barn.
Barnacle crap.
He's going to get all the credit, whether he did anything about it or not. But the other thing that I got into when I was talking to this guy, because he was asking me about some positions. We're gonna put up the depth chart for offense and defense here and do a little discussion here in the middle of the show. But I was like, hey, listen, here's the deal. Like I'm as a Washington fan, I know that when the Matt Staffords are available and they're gonna get moved to some team, like they have to want to come to your spot. Like we can have all the money in the world, but if there's that difference maker player that we know, that everyone knows, if he played for us, it would make a huge difference. Like that guy still has to want to come here.
Who wouldn't want to come to?
Well, now with Josh Harris,
correct,
and and Dan Snyder out and all that other business out, like now it begins. I think that you give Ron Rivera a chance to put something together, and I also think that I continue to think that if Ron Rivera does well, he'll be with us either in the front office or not.
All new drip, all new
drip.
All new everything. I mean, it would be the hot place to be. The change, the turnaround.
If Washington is in play, players are going to want to be here.
Hell yeah, let's go there.
All right, let's do this. Let's talk about some players. Training camp starts tomorrow, everybody. By the way, I didn't give you guys. We didn't do this yet. Usually, we start the show with the countdown. It is.
We were too excited.
Just got right into it. We're going to open our presents immediately. 46 days, 15 hours to go until the whistle blows for our first game of the year, and it's going to be a doozy, an absolute doozy against.
By the way, this talk about a
Week
layup
one?
for the Cardinals. Talk about a layup.
Thank you.
For a new owner to come in. All right, the Arizona Cardinals without Kyler Murray.
Don't blow that one.
You can't blow that one.
Without,
you just can't.
By the way, this guy
lose that game.
Kyler Murray. When's the first week he plays?
I don't know if he plays it at all.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, "Wait, what have you heard that I haven't heard?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're the national organization. Like, Kyler Murray ain't playing,
right?
And so he's not healthy right this very second, right? He's not 100%. But aren't they telling him, dude, we're gonna pay you your money. You're gonna make your money this year, but you're not playing for us. We're going for Caleb. They have two picks in the first top 5. I mean,
Plus,
it's over.
Doesn't everybody hate him? Like he's not a good dude. He's apparently not a good locker room guy.
Who, Kyler?
Yeah.
There's rumors he might play baseball.
He's apparently a weird dude.
Yeah.
Kind of on the scale of Russell Wilson.
Call of Duty rumors and stuff that he's doing that instead.
There seems like a quarterback breeds a lot of weirdness, and that comes. And you're right there.
More recently.
I'm just saying. Maybe
maybe
even back in the day.
More recently.
You always call me weird.
Most quarterbacks have been like buttoned up, square.
I'm just saying.
Unless you were Jim McMahon. That's what made Jim McMahon so.
I used to watch Len Dawson smoke
fit the mold.
Heaters on the sideline.
The mold has been
third quarter
melted. There is no mold anymore. Now weirdos are out there,
and you can't smoke on the sidelines anymore.
Run football teams, and
you can't wear fur coats.
It's crazy,
like Broadway Joe. And you can't return punts like Joe Theismann, which I think is a travesty. I think if you're good enough, I think Kyler Murray would be one of the better punt returners in the league if you just let him out there. I know there's a lot of Cardinals fans who would love to see him as their punt returner. They're tanking all the way. Tanking.
Can you name another other than the 2 rookies. I mean, can you name anybody on the Cardinals?
Is it does Connor still play for running back for them? I know Rondale Moore, the wide receiver. I love him. He's from Purdue. Yeah, he's a great player. He's stuck.
Good luck with Colt McCoy.
Oh, dude. By the way, I'm the junkie moron who watches Cardinals, on one of my TVs when I'm watching Sundays because I love guys like Rondale Moore and I want to watch him play and I think he's great. He is like the art, like that guy who we've fallen in love with. Like 20 years of terrible Redskins football. There's always like 4 or 5 guys who you're like, God damn, if they were on any other team, they would be having it like the career.
Like Muggsy Bogues was when he was here with Manu Bowl.
I guess. But like, any of our guys.
Guy.
Chris Samuels.
We love him.
Chris Samuels could have been great a lot of places. Steven Davis obviously got the F out of here. Kirk Cousins got the F out of here. And he wasn't necessarily beloved. But like corners, we lost. I mean, Champ, for God's sake. Help me out here. But I think Rondale Moore is that guy. He is so good. He is officially on the road to get like career waste. Playing for the Arizona Cardinals. It does suck because I think he's a great player, but I'm getting a little too excited about it. Arizona Cardinals.
Really, that's wow.
Oh wait, we got a Scotty A is in with a reference off Chris Elliott's Cabin Boy movie, Cabin Turd. I think Cabin Turd is a contender, an absolute contender. Is that Sammy Ball, Scotty A? I think you got the Sammy Ball. That's great. I love it. All right, so let's pull up. What you guys want to do? Offense or defense first?
Offense.
Let's go offense. Let's do it.
Sure.
Offense. Let's pull it up. We're gonna first go to our. Okay, let's do this. Don't be alarmed. The screen's gonna change if you get sick or motion sickness. You might want to close your eyes just for a quick second while I do a quick change here. Let's get the countdown off and let's go with offense. Ready? Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Amazing.
We're going defense. We're starting defense.
Amazing.
Perfect. That's what I wanted.
Defense it is. Washington Commanders depth chart on defense. Base 4-3-D. And this is just and this is from ESPN. I looked at like 4 or 5 depth chart online and every single one of them had different, like subtle differences, but differences. This one is pretty locked in, although I don't think it's very locked in, and we'll talk about it in a second. Front 4, Chase, Duran, Jonathan,
that's locked
Montez, locked in. Yep. We don't need to spend too much time. Let me ask you guys, how about this? Who is first defensive end off the bench? Bueller.
First, it's
Bueller.
James Smith-Williams, isn't it?
I think so, but I think I'm interested to see KJ Henry in camp. I'm going to be the dummy who thinks that he has a chance to prove himself. Casey Tuill is also. The guy asked me if I had any surprise names. So Effie Abada, right? He's 31 years old. He's a giant, an absolute giant. I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6", a veteran, someone who the coaches depend on and count on. I thought of all the bodies that we have, if Tuhill and Smith Williams and KJ Henry and Andre Jones show up, I think we still want Obata on our team, kind of almost no matter what. But if we're surprised by KJ Henry and Andre Jones, I'm wondering if a 31-year-old doesn't pay the price for that on cut day. At some, that probably is a dumb thing to say, but I'll throw it out there because I was trying to look and see here. If KJ Henry and Andre Jones, who are both rookies, if they prove that they can suit up and get in the game, are you giving those minutes away?
You're winning. You're winning.
Yeah,
you're winning if you're doing that.
So F.A. Obata is
because they
dependable
cost
veteran.
Nothing,
yeah,
and you've got them for years. I mean, that does make sense.
All right. So linebacker's the complete and total kind of ridiculous part of our roster.
And what I like about that is
it's a too deep. It's a too deep with 2 players.
Bradley King has actually provided some quality play for us at one point. Did he not?
Bradley King, he's not even on this.
Yeah, on
the defensive end. Sorry, you're talking about it. So we're talking about the defensive line.
He's provided meaningful snaps and wasn't a joke.
Hyphenated players do very well for us.
Your fourth string is somebody that actually held some things together at one point. You're doing okay there.
I'm not. Maybe maybe Snyder's pirate name should be hyphenated. Let's not rule it out. I'm just throwing it out there. Our two deep at linebacker is 2 players deep. It's Jamin Davis and Cody Barton. Now that's no disrespect to David Mayo, and I know we have fans of. Did he go to Texas State? He went to a small school in Texas, and I got a buddy who went there who watches our show, so I want to get that right. But David Mayo, he's like the equivalent of a walk-on on our team, and he's gotten a scholarship officially. You know,
he's Rudy.
Yeah, he's got a spot. He's gonna get on the field. He's gonna make plays. He's gonna play some special teams. But he benefits greatly from our lack of linebackers. It's when it's like a very amazing position to have on our team right now. If you're a linebacker, your odds of making the team are great. I think Khaliki Hudson makes the team for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Harris, Eifler, and Drew White. We're gonna see. I don't think they're worried about taking too many linebackers in.
This is one of the places we've talked a long time about being an upgrade at some point here early on. So that may look very different.
It's going to look very different.
That could look very different in weeks from now.
We should hope that it does. But one thing I did point out,
but when you're only playing one most of the time,
no, we have 2 out there a lot. How many do you
really need?
It's a joke that we play one linebacker, but like Cody Barton and Jamin Davis, they'll be on the field most of the time. And Cody Barton, anytime you have that much money invested in a defensive line, part of you says, Cody Barton, you better be able to get to the running back when Young, Payne, Allen, and Sweat are in front of you. But the thing about Jamin Davis that I think is interesting is that so he comes in. Right, he starts his career with Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera, and what do? They give him middle linebacker, weak side linebacker, and Mike linebacker responsibilities day one. They're like, here's all 3 jobs. We're going to teach you all of them, and he floundered, right? And
you're going to be overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. We noticed he played on his heels. He wasn't instinctive to the ball. He was late to tackles. And it was a tough first year. And he wasn't Micah Parsons his rookie year. And if we're being honest, he wasn't Micah Parsons his sophomore year either. But if you look at what he did last year, he had 105 tackles. He defended the pass decently. He got in the backfield for tackles for loss. He sacked the quarterback. It wasn't night and day because he wasn't a bust out of his first year, but he played well his second year. And if he continues that evolution, he really becomes the guy on this defense who can stir all of the Kool-Aid, because then you truly have a stud playing behind one of the best defensive lines in the league. And if he becomes more instinctive and he allows his athletic to take over and he knows it backwards and forwards, I mean, he is kind of in the catbird seat of a guy who has like a huge opportunity.
So his MO at Kentucky was it took him 4 years to peak. And when he peaked, he was dangerous. And not only because he was good athletically and everything else, he had brought the understanding of the game and he married his body to his mind, and it made him a freakish athlete. His MO is his processor
that wedding night was
his
processor
was
takes the top between his wedding and his mind. It was
takes a little bit longer to load, but I think this is the year where he has to prove he's loaded and ready. This is a make or break year for his career
and for that marriage. Let's go back and let's talk about the. All right, I don't agree with. Well, it's like not that I don't agree with. I don't like the base 4-3-D. I guess I picked this one because I liked what they did with.
No, you're right. It's mostly a two linebacker set.
Cody comes off. I'm sorry, David Mayo comes off, and who comes on is Jartavius Martin. I think day one, and I'm excited about that. And that's a projection.
Well, you're not starting Benjamin St. Juste out there either.
So let's build to that. Kendall Fuller, obviously, he's a pro. He's not going anywhere. Our safety tandem of Cameron Curl and Derek Forrest, they are. Even the host of the show that I was on earlier tonight recognized like they are so underrated as a safety duo in this league.
Hopefully they're giving Cameron Curl
and Dafo.
Yeah.
But what about we? I thought at one point we all did agree. Rhett wasn't on. Mike, I'm bringing Kevin into that, but that possibly moving Kendall from outside, inside, putting St. Juste outside, I think that gives you.
So here's
the best lineup you can have with a guy like Jartavius Martin coming in after that.
So here's I think
they will go dime.
The veteran Benjamin St. Juste deserves to come in on day one of training camp as a head on the totem pole to Jartavius Martin. I'm down with that. I think that's the way Ron Rivera operates. I like keeping Kendall Fuller outside. I think he can play a variety of positions, and he ultimately will.
He's getting older.
But I'll take him on the outside. He
started on the inside.
But also, but if our defensive line is playing well,
outside and stay out there.
If we're rushing the quarterback with these four guys effectively, Kendall Fuller will do just fine on the outside. All I'm saying is Jartavius Martin, I think is going to emerge as one of the better players in our secondary this offseason, this training camp. And I believe since base 4-3 is not anyone's base defense ever in the NFL right now, your base defense is at least nickel, if not more. He is the guy who comes on the field. And let's go back there because we haven't talked about the other outside guy. But I think Jartavius Martin comes in as your nickel corner, as your slot corner. And I'm saying that because I think that's the job he will win. Think about this. He's 5'11", played at Illinois. 5'11". In his measurements, he ran a 4.4 40 and an 11-foot 1-inch broad jump.
How big are his hands? Big hands?
Big enough.
Yeah.
For you.
Wow. You're the hand guy.
All I'm saying is what he brings to the table physically is not normal. He's like people don't combine 4.4 40s and 11-foot broad jumps. Look it up. It's alien. He is, and he played safety at Illinois. He's not going to play safety in the NFL. How many times do you see that? College safety is being brought up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to play slot, and I think he's going to be pretty damn good. And I could be proven wrong. I think he's also going to be playing a lot in the dime defense as well. He's going to be one of the most ferocious, athletic, quick to the ball defenders on our team in week one. I'm predicting that he will be a playmaker in week one for us in our defense. And part of the reason is because if I'm the quarterback and the offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals and I'm looking at like where I'm going to go, I'm going to be like, I'm going after the freaking guy from Illinois who I thought shouldn't even been a starter on this game. I'm going to be throwing at him and we'll see what happens. Because I'm telling you right now, I think he's a player. I think he's going to play for us right away. I mean, I could be dead wrong.
I'm not going to argue.
We'll see.
I sure as hell hope you're right.
Yeah, I do. And of course, we have Emmanuel Forbes, on the other outside. And I also think he'll move inside and play a little bit of slide every once in a while. I mean, he's a playmaker.
I am so excited to watch him play. He's the one guy that I keep circling on my depth chart of just saying this is the guy I want to watch him succeed.
He is going to be the sort of. He's the one that everybody's going to have their eyes on because we're all expecting him to do something incredible. Just waiting for something incredible to happen, and we all hope it does. It's slim pickings. Let's see what you got, man. I mean, that's just there shouldn't be any we should be excited for that.
Does Troy Apke make the team?
Let the rest of the pundits and the people on the 4-letter network and all the national, non-Washington fans, let them hate. We should
Hulu?
Huh?
Hulu?
4-letter network.
Yeah. They have live sports.
They have live sports. Does Troy Apke make the team this year?
No, he does not.
He does not make the team.
He's such an amazing special teams player, though.
I mean the amazingness of Troy Apke is his ability to continue to
stick around,
stay on this in this league. I love it. I think it's incredible. But we'll see. Surprise cut on defense.
You gotta be careful. You can't cut white defensive backs easily. You have to have a real case.
Surprise cut on defense.
Sure,
that's Obata.
For being racist.
That's F.A. Obata. Surprise cut on defense.
Really careful.
Would you be surprised, Greg, about that? I don't think so. But I think if you look at this if you look at this in the light of surprise cuts on defense, I don't think there's any other surprise. I don't think there's a single surprising cut. I mean, no one's gonna be surprised if you cut Troy Akpe. No one's gonna be surprised if you cut, any of these guys. But I think if you cut F.A. Obata, I think that's a surprise. And I think to T's point, if you cut F.A. Obata, it means you've found something in those two rookies.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
No, I like your KJ Henry pick in terms of being a productive player this
year.
Well,
I mean, his knocks out of the draft are not good knocks. Like he fell in the draft because he was wait, how do I get rid of there we go. He fell in the draft because people were calling him rigid. They were questioning, they were knocking his agility and athleticism.
Not very flexible.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not because a lot of times if you watch
pretty correctable.
Well, I guess I don't know, but I mean, if you watch a lot of if you get into the weeds on punditry and people grading plays and moves and players, and it's all about the bend. When you talk about defensive ends, they talk about the bend, the bend. If you can't,
not playing low enough.
Not you look at like Von Miller. He's like 39 years old.
Technique.
I don't. It's definitely a skill. And I don't know if it's something you can.
It comes more natural to others, sure.
I think it becomes more natural to others, but like the bend for the defensive ends is like a big deal. To be honest with you, I can't remember a defensive end that had like great bend. Like when you look at Von Miller is regarded as one of the best when you talk about his bend. And when other players, when you're watching the game and you watch them and they're able to it almost looks like they're running at like 90 degrees to the field. You know what I mean? It's crazy how they do it. And it's a skill, and it's something
90 degrees. That would be like
I was told there would be no math.
Like worms, like
they were
45
90,
degrees.
45 degrees.
Like 90 would be like face planted
or straight or straight up.
Yeah,
straight up towards the sky.
That's usually not good.
That would be a skill.
So 45.
We've had a guy like that. Dexter Manley
Probably
can
more
run
like 40.
Dexter Manley can run 90 degrees to the field. I don't know how he did it, although I'm pretty sure I know how he did it. But our guys don't have a ton of bend. I think Montez Sweat has to bend. You know what our guys do? Our guys are just strong, big, tall, and strong. Chase Young and Montez Sweat, they're looking to overpower people. Other defensive ends are looking for more finesse. Anyways, KJ Henry knocked for his lack of bend and his rigidness. We'll see.
He's got a lot of talent.
I'm gonna go out on a limb for that guy. I think he'll be a contributor.
KJ appreciates it.
Yes, you're welcome, KJ. He does.
He
We have more than 3 people on the board, and we only have 3 likes. Whatever. Let's go to athletes.
Come on, you've said
depth chart.
Funny stuff.
We've been all right. Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of the defense. Bye.
Turd Swogler didn't get a like.
Turd Swogler should have gotten a like. We're going with the offense. Now, this is a 3 wide, 1 tight situation. We got to play a tight
Ride
end.
or die, baby. Let's go.
And again, not a ton of surprises, although if we're being honest, I don't see Alex Armah making a ton of appearances. I see us looking to maybe add a different player on the field for our base offense.
I love the fullback position so much, and I just know that it's such a relic.
I love Alex. I'll be interested if he makes the team. ESPN is projecting that he will in fact start for us.
The athleticism of tight ends these days, they can pretty much, a backup can pretty much fill in for whatever a fullback has ever historically been a function for. Man, I love.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to give AGH a little love here. He says, "You want a surprise cut I hate based on a rumor put out last year is St. Juice."
No way.
There's a rumor that Jack Del Rio thinks he's soft and won't play if he's carrying an injury. As I said, I would hate that. So AGH doesn't want it, but you know what? I like it because it would qualify as a surprise, and that would be a surprise. That would be a big surprise cut. So it qualifies, and you get a little bit of dap on that.
AGH kicking up some dust from Wales.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it. Not as important as he was in our. Again,
the big question was
like that. You're winning.
Do we keep 3 quarterbacks?
But why cut him? Why wouldn't you get something for him?
Well, no, it would be a surprise. It's just a surprise.
Okay.
Sounds like you'd be real surprised.
Yes.
There you go. So there you go.
I wouldn't be as surprised.
AGH succeeded. He surprised you.
Him, but I wouldn't just tell a really, really good player like that goodbye.
Do you think we keep 3 quarterbacks?
I think the rules are going to change.
The rules changed. They're already changed. You can have a third emergency quarterback. They made their change in the offseason.
Okay, on the roster.
So
on game day.
On game day, you may have an emergency quarterback that does not count. I think you have to as well. I'm sure there'll be.
I mean, de facto, if that's the case, then yeah, everybody's going to have a third.
The only thing it does is it takes up a spot on your.
So you have a 53-man roster, but you suit up 54?
No. On game day, you only suit up 47? So you don't suit up all 53 on game day.
What?
You have scratches. Every week you have scratches. You don't suit up 53 guys. I don't believe so.
Right, but either way, are you saying that
you have healthy scratches?
Are you saying there's an extra spot for an emergency quarterback that doesn't count against that?
That's correct.
No, then why would you not have 3?
Yeah.
Well, because it is a spot on your roster. There is still a decision to be made by teams. You're allowed to dress a third quarterback as an emergency. You can't play unless the first 2 guys get hurt. But there is, but it is a guy on your active roster. On your full. You have to break camp with X amount of guys. That guy takes up a spot. I think you do it. I like Jake Fromm. I don't think that you are trying to convince yourself that if you get to a point in a game where you're counting on Jake Fromm that you're feeling good.
Was going to be better.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But I still think you bring. I think you bring
him. On QB1.
It's 46. 46. You dress 46 guys and an emergency quarterback, which is 47. But they're all part. Greg, please tell me I'm saying the right stuff. I said 47. I meant 46. But that goes to your 53 man. You have to carry that guy in your 53 man. And I think that's right. So it is a spot.
Right.
Then again, Alex Armah. No offense. I don't know what we're gonna do with Alex Armah, but he is our only fullback on the roster. There's a lot of dashes there. But looking at running back, the other thing about running back is I don't think this is the team that needs 4 running backs on our 53 man. If we have Brian Robinson,
no Dalvin Cook,
no Ezekiel Elliott, I don't want him anywhere.
B-Rob, Antonio Gibson, and Chris Rodriguez. If you break camp with those 3, no offense to Jonathan Williams. In fact, no offense to Jonathan Williams or Jarrett Patterson. But at the end of the day, you can get
what happens
Jonathan
if you
Williams
bring in a Dalvin Cook and you just move Antonio to more of just a wide receiver?
Why are you bringing in Dalvin? To do what?
Get rid of Dax or Diami or...
Wait, Dalvin Cook, a running back, like who's
yeah?
You're gonna give him. I mean, we got Brian Robinson, who we want to give 20+ carries a game. You're gonna let Dalvin take those instead?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, I'm dead set against it, but I appreciate that. I mean, he's available, and as long as he's available, I mean, and he is playing football this year for somebody.
I thought I saw where Antonio Gibson either said himself or there's been talk that he's going to be used more as a wide receiver.
In this spring, Antonio Gibson has been lined up all over the place. He's been at slot. He's been out wide. He's been at running back. And if you look at the way Eric Bieniemy used Jerick McKinnon last year, we've talked about this already. I mean, obviously, it's an easy. If you have a guy who can run like a running back and you can get him the ball on the outside or up or past the first level, you're going to do that all the time. Antonio Gibson is a guy that
he's got a burst,
and he's playing for something. This year he's playing for something. He's likely not returning to Washington with a big contract. Mm-hmm. If depending on how running backs are valued after their rookie deals, maybe he is a guy.
That's also why he doesn't want to be called a running back and more of a wide receiver.
Oh, for sure. There's nobody who wants to be called a running back. By the way, that's a topic we're going to touch on tonight.
Call me a running back.
How dare you? I remember you and Kevin were just slightly uncomfortable. One of the many things I said that made you slightly uncomfortable.
I'm an all-purpose back.
That I remember I talked about change. We had to figure out a new position. It's like there's something that's going to be happening in the next. And I don't know what the answer is, but we're getting there. We're moving there. Like there's no way you can. I'm not like a union rep. I'm not trying to say like these guys. I need to fight for every. It just doesn't make sense from a following football standpoint. If you hand a ball off to a guy 20+ times per game, if he gets you 1,600 to 2,000 yards from scrimmage every year, and he's clearly the engine to your offense. Like, you can't then knock him for being interchangeable with like the next guy up and refuse to pay these guys. Like, it's unbelievable to me. Like, I mean,
I think Barkley and McCaffrey are the only two that are special, in my opinion.
You know, like what Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's he's kind of a unicorn, but he ain't gonna last much longer. There's no way.
He's got to. I mean,
but I mean, other than those few, insert player here.
Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is awesome. He really is.
They're all awesome. They're all freaking NFL football players.
But you can't. The conversation
they're all awesome.
Like, so there's
only a few.
Austin Eckler.
There's only a few who are special.
Austin Eckler is special.
He's
there's only
special,
a few that are special.
But the reason he got an opportunity was because Melvin Gordon went down, and they go, "All right, we got this undrafted guy. Let's give him a shot." He comes in and becomes.
I understand. So I'm not even arguing. You can if someone's going to be your running back, you're going to get some level of production out of anyone. If you hand the ball off to anyone 25 times a game, just because that's who you have to hand it off to, in an NFL offense, as long as you're not the Houston Texans, I mean, even Dameon Pierce broke out for like one of the worst teams ever. I mean, the Miami Dolphins were breaking out running backs, for a while. All I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to me that you have a guy that you're counting on for that many touches and that many hits. And also we all
did. It's a position that takes too much of a pounding.
But we know it's the position in the league that has the lowest average career. It's like 2.3 years. It's the lowest of all positions.
So you can't invest in it unless, again, you have a very special player like a Barkley.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is I just think you can't be 26 years old, be Saquon Barkley, be far and away one of the best athletes in the entire league. Sure, you've had a couple injury knocks, but like anyone with like a set of eyes looks at Saquon Barkley and like, oh my God, he's awesome. Like you can do anything with him.
He's special.
And then just be like, you know what? Franchise tag him, give him a 1 year deal.
There's a bunch of people in New York that said, all right, Wayne Gallman came in and had a fantastic run while Barkley got hurt. So why would we give this guy $13 million?
I know. I don't know what the answer is.
Right.
But it just, to me, it doesn't sit right. As somebody who like literally like saddles up every week to every game, and I get so much love out of the NFL, and it's so much a part of my life. And I watch, and like the players whose names I know the most are running backs because they get the ball the most. They get the most carries, the most touches, the most catches, the most touchdowns, the most all of it. And I watch them all, and I love them all.
Remember the era of...
And to see them get shafted so hard.
The era of
terrible.
Marshall Faulk and Latainian Tomlinson and just unbelievable backs.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable backs. They're much fewer today.
I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, and I'm not trying.
I don't think we're ever going to get rid of running back. But
no, I don't want to get rid of running back because I still think that guys should be able to make a living running into that brick wall 20 times a game if they so want to. But I also think like the Saquons, the special guys, to the extent they are special. Like for example, okay, so like Nick Chubb, he's special, but he can catch, but he's not. But he's a runner. He's basically Derrick Henry in a smaller body, and he is, I think, one of the. I mean, I would take Nick. I'm trying to think who I would take over Nick Chubb, and I don't know that there's a single man that I would take over Nick Chubb.
Christian McCaffrey. What do you mean?
I love Nick
Barkley?
Chubb. No, I'll take Nick Chubb over Saquon. I would. I think Nick Chubb is that good. I really, honest to God, do.
You got a Chubb for Chubb?
I got a Chubb for Chubb.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I think Nick Chubb.
Breaking news.
I think he's the best. I really do.
Do not stand up.
I mean,
do not stand up.
I'm actually excited to see what happens with Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
because they invested a high pick.
Dude, their running game is so cool. The Atlanta Falcons rushing attack.
And they had a great attack last year. With
yes,
two guys
it is
never heard of.
Listen, they are the worst team in the world to have such an amazing running game. I mean, they're going to be terrible forever. I don't know how good Desmond Ridder's going to be. I think it's going to be a decent, but their run game is innovative. It's fun. They get it done. Bijan Robinson is going to produce.
He learned it from
Arthur
Kyle, right?
Loves running the football.
Yes, it is.
I was going to say Jim Phelan.
Jim Phelan.
He learned it from Jim Phelan.
I'm telling you, if you like football, if you love, it's the Atlanta Falcons running attack is something to watch.
And here we are bashing running backs when it was our running game. It was our running game that got us through the worst and hardest parts of last season and any season. The team that is running the ball the best is usually one of the teams that's out in front.
Correct.
It's just a fact of football.
Yep.
So it's kind of ironic.
Although
the running back position is so devalued, yet it's still a huge part of this game.
I know. And Ken Harris, look at this factoid from Ken Harris. The average running back makes less than the average kicker. That can't sit right with you. That can't sit right with anybody. It just can't sit right with folks. Now,
but Tim loves kickers.
But look at the average lifespan of a running back versus an average lifespan.
Oh, I understand. But we're talking about salary. We're talking about what they make in a year.
In terms, but kickers last for a long time, so they're eventually going to make a little bit more.
No. We're talking about the average annual salary, not how long they make over the course of their career.
But because no one's really investing long term in running backs because they don't make it that long. Okay.
And
I don't have a problem with the statistic. It sounds funny, and it kind of shocks you when you see it. But if you really think about it, it should.
I know, but that's the thing. Like, is it really fair to be paying guys who are doing that much damage for your team and taking that much damage physically to be paid less than kickers?
Well, then their trade association should start lobbying for
write this down. Trade association,
less structured contracts as rookies, and let running backs negotiate their.
If you're drafted as a running back
for the prime of their years, which are going to be their first 3 years.
I think T, you've touched right on it, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but T brought it up, so I'm going to say, I think if you're drafted as a running back, you should only have to sign a 1-year contract. 1 year. We're already not drafting him in the first round. I mean, obviously, unless it's a first round pick. If you're going to draft a running back in the first round, give them their first round money. But if you're not going to draft a running back in the first round, you're only allowed to sign them for 1 year. 1 year, and then you have to re-sign them. And you got to re-sign them if
it's the system that's against the running backs.
It's everything right at this point. I mean, they got it. You got to do better by running backs. My dad. And I'm talking my game.
Again,
my dad
quarterbacks screwed it up for running backs.
My dad was quarterbacks. So. Is Greg Martin crushing me yet? He's probably crushing me. Kickers get cut faster than running backs. If they get hurt, they're getting cut. I know, Greg. He is crushing me.
I'm talking about like the Morton,
I care.
Andersons.
Oh, sure. The 50-year-old kicker.
Jacks. I mean, those guys
can go out there and barefoot kick it
they're
to the
part
uprights.
Of that average.
50 degrees. I love it. I know. Listen,
the longest tenured back is.
How much do you think Justin Tucker
8 years
is going to make this year?
I hope he makes. So again, he should make whatever. I mean, he should make it. Whatever you're paying the best kickers, Justin Tucker should make.
I'm curious. How much do you think he makes?
I think he makes
more than the three of us combined, and then some.
That's not.
Well, yeah. I think Joey Sly is pulling that off. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say that Justin Tucker is making $9 million this year. $9 million.
A lot.
Someone from the board, check us on Justin Tucker's salary. I say $9 million. But we'll figure out this running back thing. It's not going to happen in one night. Let's close out the offensive depth chart. We got offensive line. When I say close out, I mean let's start. We only went through running back and quarterback.
Yeah, this isn't the fun part though.
McLaurin, Dotson, Samuel, locked.
That's the fun part.
Locked in.
That's great.
De'Ami Brown, I think he's locked in as number 4. Dax Milne locked in as number 5. Guys, I gotta tell you, I think we're gonna keep 6 wide receivers. I have no freaking clue who the 6th is, and that maybe that's somebody who's not on our team right now.
Again, I think there's a chance we bring somebody in at running back, or be comfortable with Robinson and Rodriguez moving Antonio Gibson to more of a traditional wide receiver and getting rid of somebody on that wide receiver list.
Well, somebody like any of the 7 names who we don't know who they are.
De'Ami or Dax.
So I don't think De'Ami is going anywhere only because of Sam Howell. I believe that. And
that's possible. It's pros now. It's not daycare.
Rhett's anti-De'Ami.
I've always been anti.
You're anti-De'Ami, and I don't appreciate that. But I also, actually, to be honest with you,
I'm not anti, but
I do appreciate that.
Has he done anything for you to love him, Ken?
Yes.
That we must keep that guy on our roster if we can.
No. So
upgrade.
What you're asking wide receivers. Diami has not even been close to being our top 3 guys, right? Like but when he's been given a chance to play football
guys
for us,
not even on that list right now that were better than
you asked
him,
me a question,
who were
T,
former Washington
and I'm going to
Commanders.
answer it. He has gone down the field on special teams and made great plays. Now, he's not getting paid a ton, so you can't say we're wasting money.
Right.
When we got a guy who we draft who can't get on the field as a wide receiver because there's guys on the field ahead of him, Dotson, Samuel, and McLaurin, it's respectable to be behind those guys on the depth chart. And you say, listen, go out on special teams and go make a tackle. And he freaking does. He's been a great special teams player for us. And if he can also add what he adds as a wide receiver, I am totally okay with Diami Brown. I don't see him even close to being cut. I mean, do you guys disagree with that?
No, I don't. He's not going to get cut.
You don't appreciate what he did on special teams for us?
It's fine.
Oh, you're so.
It's fine.
It's Christmas in July.
I have no Chubb for Diami Brown.
I don't have a Nick Chubb for Diami Brown. I just am saying the fact that Sam Howell is our quarterback.
Sam Howell is our quarterback, I think,
adds a lot of value to him. And if he keeps being a stud on special teams, if he's asked to, I'm super excited about that because we got to have good players at every phase. And punt returning, so there's no more kick returning, right? We're pretty much outlawing that, apparently. I mean, that is done.
Well, unless
short kicks.
I assume we'll get to the Joey Sly versus Michael Badgley.
We're not getting to that. I learned one thing over the last 3 years,
Michael Badgley can't put the ball into the end zone for kickoffs.
One thing people appreciate less than Dan Snyder topics are kicker competitions.
I think some teams are toying with the short kick, thinking they can actually pin them within the 25. So,
but it's over now. They changed the rules. What's the rule? The rule is, and board, check me on this. I believe the rule.
Dress 46.
I believe I believe you can fair catch it anywhere and on the field and take it out to the and it goes straight out to the 25. I don't think there's any benefit anymore.
You can always fair catch it.
Yeah, that was the rule.
But like you're saying, like if they pop it up straight and he fair catches it on the
here we go
55, they go back to the 25.
Rules 20.
I don't get it.
23.
So if he catches it on the 10 and like fair catches it, they go to the 25 anyway.
The new rule is only in effect for the 2023 season. And it can't be made permanent, but the rule essentially removes kick returns from the game because returns will be able to call for a fair catch anywhere inside the 25-yard line, and the offense will start at the 25-yard line.
Just get rid of it then.
Yeah. All I'm saying is there's no more
just get rid of it.
There's no more kick returns. So punt returns, so guarding and defending punts becomes like the last bastion.
It's terrible. What? Yeah. That's terrible because what?
Yeah. I know, dude. Serenity now. Do you need another whiskey? Now do you need some more whiskey? You do, don't you?
That angers me.
So where was Diami Brown making an impact on special teams?
Punt returns, on punt coverage.
Punt coverage.
Yes, punt coverage. He was making an impact on punt coverage. And I know it's subtle, but at the same time,
I'm angry.
He's angry.
On
Christmas in July. Now it's good. If everyone gets angry at the table, then you know you're at a family holiday
dinner. Let me talk kickers.
So okay, I'm okay with it. I wanted Robbie Gould to be signed, but we went with Badgley versus Sly. Do you have an inside? Do you have a horse in this fight?
Oh, I'm a Badgley guy for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, he's more accurate.
What about now? It becomes
Where did the Gonzaga kid go?
The Gonzaga kid?
Yeah, the kicker.
I don't know. Hold on. EO. Are you still out there? What do you think about this? We're doing a little Tullamore Dew Caribbean rum cask. I'm going to get your... he's the expert. He will tell me if it's good or not. Although I'll also tell him.
Tullamore Dew is good.
I'm a Tullamore Dew guy. I'm going to give this one a chance. It's Christmas.
Now, are you cheating on Redbreast?
No. I'm thinking
about Redbreast know about this?
Yeah.
This is well, it is Christmas, but at the same time, I went home for the holidays to the Caribbean.
By the way, have you seen the whiskey line on Saturday mornings up in Kensington?
Yes,
at the liquor store.
I sure have.
It's awesome.
It's pretty impressive.
It's an awesome line.
It's people who are serious about getting.
I know some people.
How early are they around?
Way early and camped out and waiting for
Just
that
waiting
door
for
to
their-
go bing bing.
Well,
for the first
because
time.
I've also missed out on
the
some
price is
bottles.
right.
Well, yeah, because the price is right
Mhm.
for the first like 25 customers, and then good old 26 down have a bad Saturday morning.
But at the same time, yeah, let's fire it up.
A little bit of the sacrament.
They give out so the county comes up with some decent bottles, and the only chance you have of getting those bottles is by being in that line.
I'm gonna have to taste it. What are you doing?
But being in that line, finish your dinner first. Clean your plate.
Then
You
you
have to
get
be part of the
dessert.
clean plate club. There it is. There it is. Give you a little bit of some COVID.
Kevin loved it.
A little
He
COVID
loved that
ice.
part.
I remember during COVID, and the first time we were all together, and we had the icing, and I was like, Kevin, give me some ice, and he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty sure. We're sitting 4 inches apart from each other. I'm pretty sure you put some ice in my glass, I'm gonna still catch all the same shit I'm getting from you." There you go. All right.
I have to
Everybody,
get up at 4:30 a.m.
we all have to get up at 4:30 a.m.
AGH is like, shut up.
Yeah, AGH is like, it's 4:30 a.m. already, right this very second. What do we got?
Oh, that's smoother than the last one.
Way smooth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Caribbean.
Way.
EO's not even paying
That's
attention.
actually really good.
More jubilance?
That's
Brian Johnson. That's your Gonzaga guy.
wow. Yeah, where'd he go?
Is he still
I don't know.
back.
I don't know if he's still in the league or
Not
not.
a game for us.
Local kids always do. All right, close it out. We'll close it out. Are we missing anything here? The only thing I'm looking at here on the offensive line is they got Chris Paul buried at guard, and they got Sadiq Charles playing guard. I don't have a ton of problem with that.
Chris Paul, the point guard?
Yeah, Chris Paul.
Wow.
Well,
He plays two sports.
Former Wizard.
Former Wizard. He's going to play for the Suns.
Future Hall of Famer.
He's a future Hall of
Is
Famer.
One-time wizard.
Stromberg's
Chris
not
Paul.
gonna stay there.
No, Stromberg, I think he'll move up to number 2.
Were you surprised by the Norwell Cup, by the way?
No.
No.
You want to talk about celebration?
There's your jubilance.
Well, I mean, for a guy who started 16 games last year,
Hold on.
And was horrible in every
was
single
horrible.
one of them.
but
Like
didn't make mistakes.
there was literally, I forget which game it was, but he should have
Caribbean rum
at halftime.
cask
That's a really mean thing to say about
for sweet
Sorry.
tropical notes.
I'm sure
It's pretty tasty.
Andrew
I never
would
had it before. I
squish
wanted
me
to
like
try
a
it.
bug.
Wanted to let you know.
Right.
ASAP.
if I said that to his face, but I mean, it was so bad, I wouldn't stop me from saying it. No. I would take that.
Greg, I do not.
I would take that.
Was
All
the
right.
timing right? It just
So here's Greg agreeing with
That's
T.
gonna happen
Is he
eventually.
agreeing with T? Greg Martin says, "Think we pick up a vet running back that gets cut?" Question mark. I think the answer is no, but T and you apparently think yes.
I think it's an option.
No, I don't think it's an option. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's an option. Whatever.
It's 3:02 in Wales, just for the record. 3:02 a.m. So suck it. Suck it.
no. I don't think we're gonna pick up a running back.
I don't, but you know, we desperately need to sign some O-line is a fact. Greg, closing this out. I think Chris Paul moves up. I think him and Charles are battling at the left guard position. Ultimately, I think Braden Daniels moves up the depth chart at the tackle spot before the end of training camp. I think Ricky Stromberg is our second in line at center. And damn it, if I don't know who any of these other people are in terms of their chances to making this team, it's just so obvious that we're so freaking
You're not a Joan
weak.
Smith guy. I thought on hyphenated names.
He's making the team because he's got a hyphenated name.
Nolan's mom's on the other line for you.
And I love Laufenberg. So if your last name is Laufenberg,
Yeah.
by the way, he's
You
gonna.
deserve a
Mrs.
spot on my
Laufenberg.
roster.
Mrs. Laufenberg wants to have
Is
a word.
Babe Laufenberg his dad?
I don't think that's something you want to do.
I don't think that's something I want to
She
do. Either.
sounds angry.
But I'm sorry, Mrs. Laufenberg, your son is going to get cut. Super cut.
By the way, Keaton Sutherland.
Keaton Sutherland, he was heir to the Sutherland fortune. He was in the next 24. He'll be starring in that.
Kiefer.
Yep. Kiefer Sutherland. And other than that, we have a very lack of offensive linemen. So,
All right, are you excited about any tight ends?
Yeah.
I mean,
One in particular, Cole.
You
Cole
think
Turner.
I've heard a couple pundits on the radio in recent weeks say that is the guy that everybody's looking at right now in terms of possibly being the biggest
jump evolution from year one to year two.
Given the kind of offense we're gonna have,
He'll have
that
an
is an
opportunity.
X factor that everybody's kind of keeping an eye on, saying that could be interesting.
Yeah,
given what he has shown he can do, and hasn't had a chance to show it yet.
Okay, I'm not gonna quibble with that. Only because the last time we saw Logan Thomas play, he ran. I mean, very slowly.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
it hurt to
he has
watch.
a great personality.
A
Great personality for a tight end. But so we'll see. I mean,
that's because he's a former quarterback. You know that why? That's why.
Well, he had to leave because he's not a weirdo, so he had to get out of the position.
But that's not true.
He had to stop. He was like, "I'm not a weirdo. I need to play another position."
That's not true. But look at you can think that, but all the weirdos, except for Aaron Rodgers, are.
By the way, Mahomes
slender.
comes off as a weirdo.
I don't know. Phil Rivers
he doesn't.
In quarterback.
Phil Rivers just having like
young
a 10th child
dweeb.
or something
He
like that.
He comes off as just a young kid.
Russell Wilson.
He's a kid.
Weirdo.
I'm just saying he comes off as a little bit of a douche.
Who, when it's time to do what he has to do to be ready, he does it better than pretty much everybody else.
Got no problem with the way he plays.
And I don't mean just on the football.
I love him
field
when
on
he plays
Sundays.
golf
I'm
too.
talking
By the
about-
way, I'll watch him play golf.
dude,
I love it.
He's like a savant, in my opinion. After seeing that,
Golf?
No, just
Quarterback.
of everything.
Yeah.
Whether it's quarterback or anything he's doing.
Mahomes.
He's just at the end
One
of the
for
day,
Mahomes.
he's a young. And even he said, like, the haircut's gone. He goes, I can't be a dad with this haircut. I mean, at some point he's going to mature.
Stacy and Doug Laufenberg were both Division I athletes at the University of Iowa, according to Robert Cohen. Damn it. He's got lineage. He's got pedigree.
Stacy and Doug Laufenberg.
I don't think we have. I mean, I don't know them like I think I know them, but if I know them like I think I know them, then Stacy and Doug Laufenberg will be great guests on our show.
By the way,
when
if
he
you
makes
had
the team.
to guess where he went to college, Nolan, Stacy, and Doug Laufenberg. Pretty sure you'd say University of Iowa.
Yeah, I was going to be way up on the list.
Iowa would
For
be
sure,
a strong contender off the top. Yes. Nebraska, maybe.
Yeah. They didn't go to Florida State.
No. And they're not playing. Dion did not recruit them to Colorado.
Maybe a BC.
Lincoln Riley is not playing them there. Maybe a BC.
BC is like, in my opinion, BC is
Northwestern.
Like
Northwestern.
I was going to say.
RIP to their football program.
Yeah. You had a good run. You had a great run.
Fitz. Don't get me started. Yeah.
Had a great run.
Don't.
I know, right?
Don't.
Gone.
Don't get me started.
We're not starting. We're not doing Northwestern. But
this could take a really dark turn.
We're not doing dark turns.
Don't do that.
Not on Christmas in July. Curtis Hodges is not hurt. The A team is in the house. And yeah, Armani Rogers is the guy that's out. Air Force was another suggestion by Robert Cohen in terms of the Laufenbergs.
Sammy Reyes got cut by the way.
But they
can't
be,
he's
they,
out.
they
That
can't
was
be
a
a
while
certain
ago.
height.
He's out.
They're usually not like monstrous.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Tune in starting tomorrow.
How could you not be excited?
It's just there's a weight lifted that has nothing to do with actual football. The actual football stuff was going to happen anyways. It's just the grass is greener, like the air is they're fresher. It's all of it is better because of what's happened in the last 5 days. Merry Christmas in July, everybody. Next week we will be back talking about training camp updates, training camp battles. We'll bring back the updated depth chart. We're going to do a depth chart segment every single week during training camp.
It's open for sponsorship by anybody.
It's open for sponsorship. If you want to sponsor the First Amendment Sports weekly depth chart segment, give us a buzz.
And so is Ken's weirdest moment of the night.
What is tonight? We haven't had a weirdest moment. I don't feel like.
Yeah, you started it off with one.
What was that?
I don't.
how do we do that?
It'll come to me.
Yeah, it'll come to you.
No, the fact that he opened Christmas presents in July, and then all of a sudden they did Christmas presents.
Everyone on the board.
weird.
By the way, everyone on the
9
board.
Christmases in a year.
Everyone on the board said they celebrate Christmas in July to a man.
Did they really?
Pretty much.
Well,
One guy may have said.
Bah humbug,
I don't
There was a
remember.
comment or two made about it, but I'm pretty sure what they meant was, "We're with you, Ken."
I told you he doesn't speak for all of us. Or you?
Or anyone really, for that matter. I never pretend to.
No.
He is Tim Strachan.
This is the thing. This is what I've been telling people for about a week. It's feeling real. It's starting to feel real.
It's all about feelings.
And let's keep it going. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week.
Oh, I'm not even going to read you this one comment. He's Rhett Donnelly.
Well, I'll say this. All right. I look at those depth chart rosters. I get really excited. Really excited. I mean, the front four on defense, the back four, Jamin Davis, the offense, the skill position players.
Ken Harris. I don't know if I'm going to like it.
Everything was always just had this dark cloud over it. I'm not going to name his name, but it was always just, it doesn't really matter. We're always going to fail. I'm excited now. We got a great team. Got a good owner. Let's do it.
We're going to overtime. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. I have a special Ken Harris has asked for it, and you know what Ken Harris asked for, he gets. He wants T's thoughts on the Northwestern issue.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to grant it. I'm going to grant it. We're not going to a dark place.
No. Call me Ken. No, I can't do it. I'm not. No.
I'm just going to go just a little bit.
Ken, call me.
Hold on. Let's just.
We'll have our own conversation.
You're alive to Ken.
I'm looking.
I'm
looking you right in the eye.
Call T. Strachan.
Give me a call. We'll talk.
I'll pass along the information. We're gonna go back to the main thing. All right, we got it. All right, Ken, you're getting this inside skinny from a Big Ten guy at your leisure. We are still live.
I can't wait to take these headphones off and just hear what I want to hear.
Until next week, this was Thank God It's Tuesday. I'm Ken Marangolo on behalf of First Amendment Sports. Please have a great week. Don't leave without giving us a thumbs up and a subscription. See you in 7 days.
Left hand up.
It's gonna be we're gonna be over and done with that very, very soon.
Why?
No, that's gonna stick around.
I think it'll stick around, but it'll be funner because the other guy's out of here, and you're doing left hand up. So and Ken Harris said, fair enough. He's waiting for his call. I'm gonna be with my teammates here. All right, and we did it, and now I'm done with it. It hurts me. It hurts me. 7 days from now, get another Tuesday.
Get some go-go going on the way out. That's what we need.
Let's just rock a little EO.
Get some go-go. Get a go-go feel in there, man.
Dude, Magic Johnson is busting a rhyme right now.
Love seeing him.
Love it.
Dance to the go-go.
46 days. Count it down. We're still live.
The new team, instead of the band, and the new branding should have a go-go band. Less seats, too.
Junkyard Band. They're available.
The Junkyard Band should be the Washington football team's band.
NES, talk to me about your go-go. Are you Rare
He's
Essence?
from here.
Junkyard? He's McNamara, dude. He's McNamara 94. I mean, I have an NES Tecmo narrowed down to like three people who I think it is. I don't know why he hasn't told me who he is, but I'm pretty sure I know who he is.
Because I think you may have shit on his house.
I never shit on anyone's house, even though my name is Ken and his name is Ken. I want to hear from NES. And I want to hear NES.
You did something to him.
I love Rare Essence, and I probably love them more than Junkyard. I don't know if that's sacrilegious or not. That's just where I'm at in my life right now. So give me a little locket. Oh, go band. All right, fair enough. Like, I'll take you on that. See you next week.